The vital thread is not something that you create overnight. And the reason for that is that it involves taking your entire leadership team on a significant journey such that by the time we get to the end, there is alignment and engagement and everybody believes in the strategy because it's their strategy, because it's their ideas that are in it and not someone else's that is telling them what to do when they already knew.
I felt we really turned up for a company that it's set its stall out through transformation last year about being customer focused and that being the number one principle. I felt we turned up in Torquay at the strategic offsite with the board as having a truly customer front and centre strategy where we were really, trying to do that, and I think the board were quite appreciative of it. Definitely the conversations I had with them. I think it's brought the platform together around something new. It's really advanced our cultural change about being customer focused, about being accountable, about being frugal.
I think the vital thread has created a new chapter for IAL. I think that there is an alignment to our strategy that we haven't had before. We've built a culture of collaboration, and I think the people in the room really get an opportunity to get behind the future of IAL.
So I think you end up at a stronger point to move forward at a much quicker time frame. Because there's been so much collaboration as well, it also means that you've got lots of different points of view that have already come into it by the point we get to the strategy side of things.
And the vital thread has given us the links to get to visualising what the end product is. Now we've got to just pull it all together and get the work done.
The frameworks really helped us problem solve, and even some of the activities like having all of the initiatives on the floor, just the visualisation of that was so powerful to help drive that change in thinking, so that rather than individual business units, we're now thinking about it as a customer continuum, and we're in a much better position to develop a competitive advantage that's going to be authentic in the market.
What I'm seeing of us going through this process is actually a more considered approach and a much more systematic and design thinking approach of people bringing that in of actually the answer is not necessarily training, it is improve the core system so that way we don't need to spend as much activity and time in teaching people how to work around problems, but actually we're just going to try and solve the problem for the end, for the end of it.
Oh, that's good.
And I think when you look at all of them and what was achieved, it just shows you can do a lot and achieve a lot and not spend massive amounts of money and so on. And I think my overriding kind of comment on all of it and all the things we achieved is we concentrated on content and less on pizzazz and those types of things.
And again, it was the collective awareness of that. It was the collective consciousness of, hang on a minute, we're trying to solve for this in too many different pockets. If we look at this at an IAL level, we actually get a much better solution, and we can start to see how we could implement it in a more effective way. For a business with our profile is incredibly important. You can have the minds, but do you have the hearts? And I think the investment in this program is really unique, and it's about uniting the head and the heart and the hands to go forward, and I think that's what's going to set us up really well.